To our President, you have been receiving unkind references from some of our compatriots. Take protection in the teaching of the Holy Book. In the book of Isaiah 54:17, and I quote, "No weapon formed against you will prosper." God never said that weapons would not be formed. Rather, he said that the weapons as formed will not prosper. They'll always be formed, they will not prosper. This book of Isaiah further teaches us that great leaders never lose sight of the big picture. We encourage you, Your Excellency, to remain such a great leader with a focus on the big picture for our country. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, this prayer breakfast is not just an important gathering, it's a clarion call to rise above self-interest, to rebuild our nation with the stones of love and integrity, and to re-anchor our leadership in godly service. Let us live here not only with hopeful hearts, but also with determined minds and willing hands. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to the clergy and spiritual leaders across this country, I urge you to remain the beacons of peace and reconciliation. Preach forgiveness, promote unity, and proclaim hope for our country. The voice of the people is the voice of God and must always echo the following words of Jesus Christ. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." In the same light, I'm reminded of the words of the late Pope Francis, where he gave an analogy for understanding how the church should approach its mission. He likened the church to a field hospital after battle where the wounded and suffering come to for compassion and healing rather than legalism. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Parliament remains steadfast in supporting a comprehensive economic transformation agenda, one anchored in prudent fiscal management, job creation, spiritual reform, and the protection and care of our most vulnerable citizens, among others. After all, our nation is judged by how the most vulnerable in society are faring on, and we must work to ameliorate their conditions. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, in the recent past, our nation has undergone many challenges. It is when we are faced with these challenges that we must remember that they are all products of human folly, and the solutions lie with ourselves. People are the source of evil, and people are the solution to the same. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the book that I read many years back, The Gulag Archipelago, written in 1918 by Alexander Solzhenitsyn from Russia, he says, and I quote, "The line separating and dividing good and evil passes not through states, nor between classes, nor between political parties either, but right through every human heart. This line shifts. Inside us, it oscillates with years. And even within hearts overwhelmed by evil, one small bridgehead is always retained. And I pray that that small bridgehead retained be you and I, to rise and build our country. Let this prayer gathering be also a testimony that in the face of adversity, we choose to work together, not apart. We choose to leap into hope, not in despair. We choose to rise and not to sink, and not to retreat, but to move forward. May we, in our reflection, find an unlimited source of inspiration, a fuel of faith and hope. Your Excellency, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a time when our nation is steadily navigating complex socioeconomic dynamics. We are all enjoined to support the government of Kenya as it continues to make deliberate and sustained efforts to ease the cost of living for the citizens, manage public debt responsibly, create significant opportunities for our youth. These are not simple tasks, but they reflect the administration's resolute commitment to economic stability, inclusivity, and long-term prosperity.